there's an energy that you have when you are in the know. It's like you can just you know that you're the person. If there's an accident, that you can just walk up and you'll be the person to handle the situation. And being immortal on top of that is just the icing on the cake.
EMTs, fuck them.
I am 12 times more qualified than a 20-year paramedic. Call me Dr. Cruz.
Dr. Cruz.
Please. Only at the scene of an accident, though. Only at the scene of an accident.
Dr. Cruz on Scientology.
And once you get them back to your apartment, all bets are off. You can give them anything.
Tom Cruise is in the piss pool, like in a disguise.
They like
he's got like a mustache. Is that Tom Cruise? No, I've got a mustache.
They accidentally include like a video of him like describing like how to best like bait like young like like people like back to his apartment so he can like drain their blood.
Ooh, yeah. You gotta hang him.
Once you get them back to your apartment, all bets are off. You can knock them out. I mean, there's so many ways, right? Chloroform, easy, right?
Right.
You could release carbon dioxide gas. That'll knock them out quick, but you have to make sure that you have your own oxygen. As soon as the apartment is breathable again, you hang them upside down, then you nick the carotid artery. Make sure you've got a big bucket, okay?
It's an understatement.
It takes a lot more.
Apartment.
It's
more like a sex fortress.
Yeah. Well, he's so rich. He just gets it. No. He just gets he gets a new apartment every time he does this. Like,
ooh, yeah.
It's like, yeah. So,
yeah.
You're gonna need a large bucket. Okay, Xenu will produce for you. Xenu provides.
He really liked that movie, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, because he got a lot of ideas from the killer.
Make sure that when you install your torture chamber, you put a drain in the floor.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I had a better Tom Cruise impersonation because this would be a lot funnier.
He doesn't really have like a distinctive voice. I mean, he has like distinctive mannerisms, but he's kind of like his voice is not really.
Put a drain in the floor.
It's just kind of like.
Yeah, you're gonna need a hog, make friends with somebody at a slaughterhouse supply company. You're gonna need one of those systems that they used to move the carcasses around the the building.
Right. Yeah,
it's hard to find. It's hard to find
conveyor.
one. It's hard to find one that'll fit in a basement. I'm just gonna let you know.
Tom Cruise
but you can do it.
Carcass conveyors.
Fuck, man.
I don't mince words with that. Not ever. It's like when you see an accident, you know you're the only one who can do anything.
When you see an accident, you know you're the only one who can do anything. If that old man didn't shit his pants, I wouldn't have a calling. He's like a fucking nurse and a nurse. He's like an orderly in a nursing home. When you see an accident on the floor, you know I'm the only person who's going to do anything.
That'd be a good role for him.
Yeah. I know. I need to go get a mop and a bucket, a new set of Depends, and a big box of wet wipes. It's running down his legs.
Man,
you know.
How old is Tom Cruise now? Like 70?
He's got to be at least 15.
Yeah, at least.
He's at least 15. I think he ages slower than most people, right? Because the energy, the energy of Xenu, it transfuses the cell.
Xenu. Can you draw Xenu, or is it like Muhammad and you're not supposed to draw him?
I don't think you're even supposed to talk about Muhammad.
You're not supposed to talk about Muhammad? You can talk about him.
Drawing him. I don't think you're supposed to talk about drawing him.
You can talk about the idea that they don't like that you draw him.
Next thing you know, I don't know. I don't play around with the big the big M.
Muhammad.
Yeah. Yeah. When's the Muhammad Duck song coming out?
When's the when's the Muhammad movie coming out? Who's gonna play Muhammad? Muhammad Duck song. What are you talking about? I think you're onto something, Mason.
It's like the call to. It's like the call to prayer, but like duck song.
Yeah, got an English.
Right, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So
they blasted throughout the entire city of St. Louis every morning.
Yeah. Speaking of blasting it throughout the entire city of St. Louis, how about that movie?
The what?
The movie.
Oh, the film. The movie we watched.
The film.
Yeah.
The movie.
Well, I can say, it was definitely a lot better than any other movie I've seen in recent memory. So it's got that going for it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to think about the last time I saw an actually good movie.
What did Alyssa think about it? What did Alyssa think about it?
She liked it. I think she fell asleep like 75% of the way through. So she saw most of it. Okay. I finished it up because I was like, I could tell she wasn't so into it that she wanted me to like pause it, after she fell asleep. I was like, I'll just finish this up and I'll tell her what happened or whatever. It was a very chill movie. Like, even though the subject matter is very, intense, the movie itself was almost like an ASMR video.
Yeah, it was weird though, like, cause like you really hear like the ASMR, but like the actual dialogue I felt like was mixed. Weird. There's like a lot of mumbling.
You think
I felt like
Michael Fassbender was it was a mumblecore movie?
I don't know. I don't know what was going on with the audio, but like it's almost like they didn't want you to hear what they were saying at some points.
I mean,
like,
his voiceover narration was very clear, right? Like, you didn't have any problem with the
the voiceover was clear.
Yeah.
The voiceover was clear.
But the actual dialogue.
The dialogue. Yeah.
I didn't notice any problems.
Was weird. It was weird. I don't know. Maybe it's just, I don't know.
Who was the sound recordist on this movie?
Maybe it's just my ears.
They should get like a negative Oscar. Like, if they ever win an Oscar in the future, it should be reducted from their resume just because they got a negative one.
-1. Yep.
Yeah.
Put that on the spreadsheet.
Yeah. Right.
So.
Can you win an Oscar for sound recording? Probably not.
Is there? Yeah.
I think they do that.
Couldn't tell you.
They probably do that like
I don't know
off screen these days.
Off-screen Oscars.
Yeah.
That's right. The ones that nobody cares about.
They'll announce it somewhere else, not on the actual show.
Right.
They're just giving Oscars away these days.
You get a letter in the mail.
They have like, they just have like, no one else knows except you.
No one else knows. Yeah. And the secret is they send one to everybody that was nominated.
Aw. Like a participation trophy.
That's right.
Thanks for doing your job. Here's an Oscar.
Good job. Yeah. So, man, it was good. It was good. It was good. It starts off, and like you're just like, I don't know if the movie starts and like this guy's just like going, Michael Fassbender's just going like on and on and on, and you're like, man, like this guy's insufferable.
I liked how there was a lot of build up, at the beginning, but it was like it was like tension, but it was kind of a chill tension where like the stakes weren't really that high.
It was just expectation.
Yeah, expectation. Like, when's he gonna get to this kill? But like,
right?
He's doing like yoga. He's eating like a bowl of granola.
He's just hanging out.
Yeah, he's listening to the Smiths nonstop.
The movie didn't really feel like very rushed.
There's only like 10 good Smiths songs. I mean, you can really only listen to so many before you have to like start looping them.
Yeah, didn't they play the same one multiple times?
I mean, they all sound the same pretty much.
I could
They're
swear
a
they
good band. I mean, like they have a lot of good songs, but like it's very like the Smiths. Every song is like
Yeah.
You can tell it's them.
Every song it's like this is the Smiths. Like,
yeah, the Smiths is a funny band because like, are they like trolling us? Like the songs are so funny. Yeah, I think they're just a bunch of trolls.
Probably straight trolling.
Yeah, there's like a song they have called "Some Girls Are Bigger Than Others." Some girls are bigger than. Or maybe I can play that one right now. I'm getting pretty good at the guitar. I don't know if you noticed.
I'm noticing.
Some girls are bigger than others. Some girls are bigger than others.
Well,
some girls are bigger.
It's close.
Than other girls' mother.
It's close.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's like he's like just listening to music, talking himself up, like jacking off about like nihilism and stuff.
He's not that nihilistic, is he?
I don't know if nihilism is really the right word. He's just very like once you accept the cold void, or once you accept the cold void, like everything's more chill.
Yeah, right.
Some people don't. I do.
He accepts it.
Like
he's
the
kind
script,
of he's kind of an emo, I guess. Yeah.
I can't like the thing is like about the movie, like I feel like almost like if there was no dialogue, like it would have like wouldn't have made that much of a difference. All the dialogue was like pretty like whatever. I don't know. I like that lawyer. Well, so he he's like in spoilers for The Killer, but he's like in Paris. Well, I will say it did give like me the same vibes that I got when I was in Paris, like the way that they were like shooting it, like what they were showing. That was cool. It was like oh yeah.
Yeah, like it had really good cinematography, really good shots, compositions. I mean, everything you expect from Fincher. And Michael Fassbender was doing his thing. I think that was Alyssa's favorite part, just how hot he was.
Sure.
Being sexy, doing his yoga.
Right.
He's just such a man.
No
whore.
dick though. We didn't get to see his dick.
It's okay. We don't have to see his dick every movie. She already showed it off. Like,
maybe you don't.
I mean, you've seen it before. You've seen one Michael Fassbender.
Yeah,
you've seen them all.
Here's the thing. If you give me a taste, I'm gonna want more. I'm like the mouse with the. I'm like it's like when you give a mouse a cookie.
Michael Fassbender.
Or when you give a moose a muffin.
Bender. Michael Foss. More like Michael Foss Cuminer. Because he's always fucking.
Michael Fassbendherover.
Michael Foss. Bend whore.
Michael Foss bent cock. His cock is actually bent at a 75-degree angle.
Wow.
Yeah. He's got to really like wrestle with that thing. That's what I hear.
Wow.
So
that sounds good.
He's like getting ready for this hit or whatever, and he's just like talking himself up. Like
yeah, he's kind of into himself a little bit. Yeah.
He's like talking himself up, but he's also like talking himself down at the same time. He's like, I'm not special.
I'm not special.
I'm just paid. I'm just
paid to do a job.
They pay me to do a job.
But I'm also really good at that job.
And if you don't like being bored, well, it's not a job for you.
Yeah, it's like, how about you just show up like on time instead of like.
Right, he's just waiting.
He just like doesn't know when he's gonna check in at all. Like he's waiting for his target to like check into this hotel. He knows he's gonna take the penthouse room, but he's like just kind of like waiting for days on end.
Just kind of talking.
The first like 25 minutes is just this one hit, like leading up to this one hit, which, yeah, I like that. I liked it. It was just like, it didn't open like super intensely. The whole movie is very like unambitious. I think it's like the least ambitious Fincher film I've ever seen.
It was very like, yeah, it was no depth to it. It was a real vibe.
It was more of a George Lucas tone poem. You know how George Lucas is always talking about tone poems?
It was definitely like an ode to this very specific
tone
vibe.
Poem.
It's like
David Fincher
yeah, it's
film.
like yeah, like this is a very specific vibe, and the vibe's just gonna be kept like throughout the film, and the vibe is like Michael Fassbender, he's patient except for when he's not.
Yeah, well, the hit goes off the rails badly. And then he's really...
He fucks up.
He fucks up
really
horribly. And I kind of wish we could seen him being like good, maybe like
I know.
At first, because it's like he just looks like a complete like imbecile, like from the word go, because there's so much build up to this hit, and then he completely fucks it up, and it's like she's moving, don't take the shot, like you can see that she's about to move, and he takes a shot anyway, and he hits the dominatrix, and it's like. okay, like, so you hit the dominatrix, like there's still ample opportunity. It's called reloading. Like you fucking pull the bolt and you shoot the guy,
and then you shoot again. Yeah,
and then but like he's like so like frazzled or something that he can't.
It really shakes him up. Like he really didn't expect to miss.
Yeah,
because he's so prepared. Like
and like wouldn't the bullet just like, I don't know? It's a high powered rifle for not that long of a distance, right? Like you'd think it would just go through.
You would think, but I mean the glass and then the body. Yeah. You would think it would have gone into the guy, but like at the same time, like I don't know. Yeah, I mean, so he fucks up the hit, and like how he does it is just like kind of, you're like, well, are you really that good? Because I wish it would have been like more of something unexpected.
Yeah, maybe like a stray cat or something, or like an owl,
or something like somebody, or like
wild
somebody
animal.
Like jumps into the room. Somebody jumps into the room, or like the guy, like the dominatrix, like does something like unexpected. You know what I'm saying? Like, but she's just like, you're like, look, you're like watching this shit, and you're like, she's in the way. She's like basically in the way. Like, don't shoot. Like, are you gonna shoot? And then he shoots, and it's like,
I mean,
she was slightly out of the way. Then she's like, yeah, back in the way.
You get the idea that, he's done this a lot of times, so like,
right.
He's like overly confident, and then he fucks up. I just would have liked to have seen him, maybe do a hit before that was like, went well.
The thing is with how he's talking about himself, he seems like reasonably confident, not based on what he's saying. He's not saying like, yeah, I'm the fucking greatest shit, like blah blah. He's reasonable. I'm just patient. He's like, it's very like, I didn't feel like he had that big of a head. It's like, obviously, it's like he felt calmly confident.
Where's this voiceover coming from? We never really got that.
That's just whatever.
I love how in the Batman, he's doing this voiceover, and I love how in the Batman, he's writing in his journal. And it's like, oh, this is where the voiceover is coming from. Like he's saying the voiceover, and then we cut to like just one shot of him, scribing in his little bat journal.
I know.
Does it have like a bat insignia like on the front? Like it's like a leather bound.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Little trinket, and he's like got his little handwriting, and it's like, oh, he's like taking notes. It's cute. He's like,
yeah, and
he cares about
the
this.
Thing is, you could do.
I want Michael Fassbender. I want Michael Fassbender like writing his like little memoirs. Like maybe a scene like that. So we know where the voiceover is coming from.
Right, I agree. Or talking to his, his bee or whatever. Well, here's the thing. Like that, I like that scene in the Batman too, because it's like you could really make the movie whatever you want with just that one scene. Like if he was like whispering that it, like all this, if he was, instead of writing it, he was like whispering it to Alfred, like naked in bed. Like the movie completely, or
he's just like naked in the shower, like mumbling to himself, like.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Exactly. Right. It's, you can really, it's just with one simple scene,
one little shot just to explain where the voiceover is coming from. But like with Michael Fassbender in this movie, I'm like, I guess this is just like his head, how he's talking to himself.
Yeah. You're just like in his head. I
guess so.
Kind of. Yeah, and like
it's based on a French comic.
Way. Oh, it's a comic.
That's what Wikipedia said. I don't know.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like an original thing. I don't like that. It's. I'm just gonna forget that that's based on something.
David Fincher never does anything original. He is always basing it on some sort of like, hot property. That's his thing. He'll take something and then he'll adapt it.
What about Seven?
Comic.
It's a comic?
Yeah, it's a comic. That Kevin Spacey
is it
wrote.
Really?
Adapt my comic, David.
Well, I'm not gonna look that up. I'll probably get put on some kind of list, but
I don't know. Seven was probably a book. So or something. He's always adapting like the hot property.
Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe I'll read the comic.
It gave me no. Like after watching Kick-Ass, I was like, oh, like I'll read that comic. But like this didn't like make me like want to read the comic at all. I was like,
if you watched Kick-Ass for the first time today, you think you would be inspired to read the comic?
Probably not.
I don't think I would.
I'm not really a big comic reader these days. And like a French comic with like about a killer assassin. I don't know.
It's French.
Yeah.
This is getting worse. This is just getting worse and worse.
I know.
The French really rubbed me the wrong way when I was in Paris. So I've got it out for
I know
him.
Mason really had a bad experience in France. You guys need to like fix your like your etiquette when it comes to foreigners.
I mean, I was the killer by
They're
no. I mean,
very rude to Mason.
yeah. You're speaking to the French.
I'm speaking
be
to
nice.
all French people right now. Yeah. You guys need to like be nicer to like foreigners because like not all Americans are total pieces of shit. You know, some of them are cool, like Mason.
I felt like I was being nice. It's all
Mason's very nice. He's not like a loudmouth imbecile. All right.
Well, I don't know about that.
No, you're not. You're like a very chill.
Any American is basically a loudmouth idiot.
No.
Huh. Okay. He's like, okay. This is very. Yeah. Interesting. I'm like looking at this comic.
How's the art?
It's like it's not. It's fine. It's like not what I expected, but it's like very French like comic book type deal. Yeah, very interesting, and it shows him doing like other hits first.
Oh wow, yeah, because you'd want to. I don't know. I just need like a little like montage of like maybe like over the credits. It was very stylish right off the bat. Like the credits were very stylish, like all David Fincher films, and I was like, oh, we're watching a David Fincher film, you know, right off the bat. I can tell.
Yeah,
and
it's like
maybe they could have spliced in some edits of just really quick of him doing various other kills, and then you'd be like, okay, now like look what we're getting into, and then he fucks up this kill. That might have been better, but yeah, he kind of just looks like a moron the entire film.
It's like and he fucks this chick. He fucks this chick. Now he's beating a guy to death with a bat.
Okay,
and it introduces that like lawyer guy,
Hodges. So he fucks up the kill, kills the dominatrix by accident, and then he just like flees the scene and flies back to the Dominican Republic where he's got a house.
Yeah, so I feel like I'm only saying things that are like picking it apart. But it
was like a really chill watch. Like honestly, like
it was good. It was good. And when I was watching it, I was like, okay, like I like where it's going, and I want to know what's going to happen. But at the same time, like thinking back on it, it's like, yeah, like I really, really would have liked more context about his skills. Like should be shown more context about his skills, like before this hit.
I love Michael Fassbender. He's just like got like this real determination, this real look in his eyes of like, yeah, like I'm the dude. But then he's like this like wiry little like man. You know what I mean? Like he's not like an imposing figure, but it all comes from his like bravado. It all comes from his just like gaze.
Right, and he really that really came out in that movie Shame. Initially.
Yeah. He's got a lot of great screen presence. Yeah, you can tell why he's a star because you cast him in a movie and it just elevates your film. But yeah, if you're kind of this like wiry little twerp, you kind of want to show like what his skills are, right off the bat to kind of prove his merit, his worth.
It kind of did. The thing is, like, it just seemed like doing it just slightly differently would have had a much greater impact on like telling me who the character is, so that I know like, oh yeah, he is really competent.
Yeah, right.
Because it kind of just wants you to believe that he is without actually showing it to you, because the only thing you see him do other than like be very deliberate in like setting this thing up is like
very deliberate in setting it up. Yeah.
Right. Is like fuck up. And then he's like, but I mean, then he does like escape efficiently, and he's out of there.
He's good at escaping. Yeah, for sure.
And the thing is
nice succession of shots and editing of him escaping. Like you're kind of in this one room the entire first 20 minutes of the film, and then once he like fucks it up and he's on the run, there's so many like shots and so many locations and so many quick edits that you're like, wow, this is like really picking up. And it was like a fun kind of change of tone.
It really started like,
it was stylish. It was very nice.
It really started like moving in like a very deliberate, it was very stationary. What the hell is this? It was very stationary in a very deliberate way. But then it started moving very deliberately. You know, like
Yeah.
the movie. I mean, they really knew what they were doing from like shot to shot. You know, scene to scene. It was very, very,
It was
you
very
know,
David Fincher, like it's like what you
it
expect
was
from David
masterful.
Fincher. Yeah, I mean he's a master of his craft, but he wasn't pushing the
Did you
boundaries
watch?
with this one. He wasn't like pushing any kind of limits. He was kind of just doing his thing.
Did you watch Mank?
Never saw that one. No.
Me
I
either.
just it's black and white. I can't. I can't watch a movie in black and white. I can't
I
convince
feel
Alyssa to
you.
watch a
No,
movie in black and white.
no. People said didn't have good things to say about it.
I should
But
watch
who
it
knows?
because that's the
Maybe
only
it's
one I
good.
haven't seen from him, I guess. Yeah.
It's like really like
Gary
why?
Oldman.
Yeah. How many more movies does he have with Netflix?
I don't know. I don't think he should do any more movies for Netflix. They're just like I mean, is it
I
even gonna
know.
see like a physical release? Does Netflix even do that?
I know.
I don't know. These movies come and go, and like I don't think like anyone even notices their existence.
I know.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's even heard of this movie.
I
Like
know.
I told my dad about it. He's like, "What?"
I
It's
know.
like
Yeah,
no
I've been
one's
trying to
gonna.
tell people. I've been
Yeah,
trying to tell people about it.
no
Yeah,
one's ever
Mackenzie
heard
didn't
of it.
really like it. Mackenzie didn't really like it because she didn't feel like she could like relate to the character.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he's hot, like in kind of like a Michael Fassbender kind of sexy. How tall
She
is
just,
Michael Fassbender?
she, I don't think he's very tall. She just said she
Five
felt like he
seven.
had like no she felt like he didn't really have any personality. And she like wasn't really rooting for him.
Yeah,
Let's see.
I mean, it's kind of cool when he travels back to the Dominican Republic to one of his houses. He's got like a hot bee there who has been assaulted, and
He's 6 foot.
he's 6 foot.
Apparently so.
No way. He's
what
very
this says.
wiry. He looks small.
Yeah, I guess that's just
6 foot, really.
yeah, an Irish man.
He's got such like a slim kind of physique. I think if
Yeah.
he bulked up, he could really be like a leading man. Like if he spent some time in the gym, he could be the next Chris Pratt.
I don't think he. Do you think he wants to be? He's 46.
Recast Chris Pratt in Guardians of the Galaxy 4 with Michael Fassbender. Then there you got a movie.
He's 46.
Now he's 46.
Yeah,
Still young.
he is.
Still got a lot of roles ahead of him.
Yeah,
He's
well,
6
then
foot.
he's like
he looks tiny. I don't know. Maybe it's like the framing or the composition, but he looks like a small man.
They shot him to look, I feel like a little smaller than 6 foot in the movie. And the thing is too, though,
6
he's
foot.
not really matched. He's not really matched up against anybody like his size, like standing up.
I guess like he fights like this like
In the
big
movie.
muscly guy later on in the
It's like
movie, so
big
maybe
muscle
that kind
guy.
of
Yeah.
distorted my. This I guess the guy they cast to fight him was like fucking 7 foot tall.
Or something. Yeah, that guy was a real mensch,
That guy was beefy.
So
Yeah.
so then he's like running away, right? And I'm thinking like, okay, he's running away just like to get out of the country because he like killed somebody, but like there's this like thing, I guess, in like the assassin world and that this guy lives in, where it's like, oh, if you fail to hit, like,
yeah,
you better watch out.
What's up with that? Because it's like, yeah, like
I-
no one's ever fucked up before. You can't fuck up one time.
I know what's
Hundreds
this, like,
of kills under your belt.
that was like a very strange thing to me.
I guess
because it wasn't
Hodges was just
explained.
tired of his shit. This just kind of sounded like Hodges was done with him.
Well, no, it's something that you apparently should expect. That's what people kept. That's what kept being like mentioned, is that like, how it is.
How does it help to like kill the assassin who fucked up the hit?
I don't understand.
What's the benefit there? Now there's
and
one
the thing
less
is too,
assassin to hire.
there was no like. I felt like there could have been more tension in that moment of like, if you somehow knew that they like not like, because you see him get away and it's like, oh, he got away, like tension is gone.
Right.
And the thing is, I had read the little blip about the movie of like, after a hit goes wrong, an assassin like goes after other assassins that or whatever. And I'm thinking like, why are these other assassins after him? Like the people who he shot have no idea.
So
And then
if,
it's like
if
it
you
turns
fuck
out
up a
it's
hit, you got to hire like multiple other assassins to take out the assassin. It just seems like a lot of work.
yeah, right. And money and then you have to pay
Not
these
only are you
people.
taking out like another person, but then it's like you're taking out like a trained killer who probably is like really adept at like, evading
Right.
you and, murdering
And
other
then they
people.
go and they like fuck up his girl.
Yeah, so they go to his house in the Dominican Republic and they just like, I don't know, beat his girl like half to death and then she's in the
But like
hospital.
not kill but
But they
not
don't
kill
kill
her
her.
like
And then it's like, yeah, like, are you gonna like so now he's on the loose and he's gonna come after you for doing that.
yeah, you don't expect that like
Yeah, like these guys were like they didn't handle the situation well at all because it's
it
like
was it was
don't
well,
get on Michael Fassbender's bad side because he's cynical. He has no emotion.
he's a very deliberate individual.
And he's like got multiple identities. He's got multiple safe houses. I mean, he's like looks like he's like a
every
multi-millionaire.
Every single definitely
Yeah.
at least every single time his name is said by somebody else, it's a different name.
Yeah, he doesn't have an actual name in the film. That was pretty.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, I did like that
he's
too.
just
Like
credited as
every
the
time he
killer.
rents a car,
Yeah.
every time he rents a
Yeah.
car, every time he goes into a hotel, every time he puts his name into anywhere, it's like a completely different name. He's got a passport for it too. Yeah. I mean, and it's like I don't know. The movie itself was good. It's just that like plot element of like, okay, they're after him. We don't know that they're after him. We don't know that he's got a lady back at home that
He doesn't
they
seem like the kind of
might
guy who would
come
fuck
after.
too. He just seems like kind of like it's almost like an incel or something.
Yeah, he seemed like very dispassionate, right? So then it's like, oh, wait a minute, but I guess he's like kind of one of those people that's like, yeah, like I'm so dispassionate, but then like actually like no, like you have a hot bee at home, and like if something happens to her, like you are not dispassionate.
That
right?
was
Because
the kind of part that brought me like interest in the film. Like he's got to get revenge on his hot bee, getting fucked up. Like,
right. That
that's
it brought me interest too.
That's something like, oh,
right.
She's fucked up in the hospital. So
I
it's
know.
like now, like, yeah, he's got to get these guys for like,
that was enough. Like, yeah, just to see how he was going to do it, like that brought enough for me, and enough of like a connection, enough interest in the character, and the movie was like good too, right? So it's like I don't know, that made me interested in the character too. But it's funny. It's like one of those movies where it's like, yeah, like the plot was not that solid in terms of like how it was communicated, but like it didn't really matter so much because like it was like it kind of just trying to like set up the situation to what, but like I don't know, I just wish they would have created more tension of like, wait, what's gonna happen? Like, is this bee okay? Like, oh, she's like half dead, and it's like just like, oh, why is she half dead? Like, and you don't really know that.
Did they imply that she got like raped or something?
Kind of, yeah. That was kind of like a mumble scene. I don't know for me
because I was like, I felt like I only watched it once, so like I felt like they mentioned that she got like sexually assaulted or something. Is that true?
I caught that vibe, but then like I didn't catch it again later.
But Tilda Swinton was there. Was she the one doing the sexual assault?
No, it was the guy. It would have been the guy. He was a real animal.
Yeah. So she was just kind of like stood there and smoked a cigarette while this guy like fucked his bee.
I know. Yeah. The movie was very restrained in like what it shared with you. Like it's like it kind of kept you wanting to know more about about a situation, but then like not giving you that information.
She was tough mentally though. She was like, you would have been proud
of me.
She didn't give him up.
Right. She didn't give him up.
But give what up though? Like you're at his house.
Give what up though? I know. What does she even know? They're there.
I don't know.
Right.
Whatever.
I don't know. And like, why would you have, if you're going to do this mission, like, why would you have your bee at this house where they know where to find you?
Yeah.
That's not smart.
Yeah. Well, so I guess what does he do next? He goes after. Does he go after Hodges next? Or no, he kills the taxi driver.
Yeah.
He finds the guy who transported the assassins that messed up his bee, and then he kills that guy after he tells them who. He's like, yeah, there's like a muscular guy and a woman with an older woman with white hair, and he's like, thanks. You're done. Right.
And the guy's like, yeah. It's like, how's he gonna let this guy go? And I'm thinking like, no.
Yeah, I was
know?
like unclear with that. That scene was like kind of confusing because I was like, I gotta pull out the Wikipedia for this because like what's going on? Kind of like, yeah, it was. I guess it was kind of mumbly where I was like, does this guy like know more than he's letting on, the taxi driver, or like was he
Right.
just the taxi driver and he
Right.
just randomly picked these guys
Yeah.
up? Because if that's the
And he
case, then
was
why
just
did he get killed?
right, and he was just a taxi driver, and I think it's just because he was the thing is, right, this whole situation like really threw him like off his like like deliberate game, you know?
Yeah.
Like it made it because the thing is that keeps getting him into trouble. Like in these hits. Like he's not taking it calm and quiet.
Mm.
You know, he's not taking it as like calm and like boring.
He's more emotionally involved this time.
He's like doing it for like a reason, not like for cash.
I feel like the taxi driver, you know, knew more than he let on. Like he's like I don't know. Like
I don't know.
I got the vibe that like, you know, he was like more a part of the hit squad than just being some random fare.
I don't know. I think I don't know. I kind of caught the opposite vibe. I think it was just like a random thing, and he was just like,
well, then why did he deserve to die?
Well, because he had seen Michael Fassbender's face. That was
everyone's seen his face. He's on a million cameras all over the globe, and he's got a million different identities. Who cares?
Well, no. When he's doing his like hits and stuff, he puts on like he like dresses up like a German tourist. Remember?
I love that part.
That was good.
I love that hat he wore the whole time.
Yeah.
Like I need to get ugliest hat, like the German tourist hat.
I know. I need to get like I need to get a hat like that.
No, you don't.
just really rock.
You trying to knock some people off? Like what do you mean?
Well, could be, you know. So yeah, then he's like off, you know. Well, the thing is, it's like he like puts his B is like at this hospital, and he puts her up in like a different hospital. But I'm thinking like, why did they not kill her? Why is she still alive? Number one, and like, are they gonna come back for her? Like what is the level of like?
He put her in the nice hospital. With
right, like why didn't they wait till he came back?
Yeah, because he was right there.
What I'm saying?
They could have just waited. Yeah,
I know. Like,
or they could not have fucked her up and just like wait until he got home.
Yeah, it seemed like they weren't. It was like, are they just trying to like fuck him over, like make him really mad? Like,
yeah, they fucked up, dude. They really did. They gave him a big lead, a big head start.
That whole thing was kind of like the whole like setup for like why and what he was doing was kind of like, I don't know. I feel like could have been handled in like in a way that was like more impactful, like makes me like believe it, kind of a thing. Like, and you know, it's like, oh yeah, like this is like, you know, more concrete, right? Because it was kind of ambiguous. The movie really, and it was you know, and good in some ways that did this, but in other ways it's a little bit like, well, you know, I don't know, you know, good, you know, it's a choice, I guess, but like very ambiguous in its what it was communicating at some points.
Yeah,
you know,
it didn't really have like didn't place much emphasis on clarity.
Right.
Right. I guess that's a good thing because it kind of makes you more engaged. You kind of want to lean in a little bit more.
Right.
You know,
right. It's
the benefit of the mumblecore aesthetic.
It kept me wondering. I know.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
You're like, huh?
What? What'd you just say?
Did I have to rewind that?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, I think I rewound it a couple times when Melissa was watching. She's like, what did they say?
I thought about turning on the subtitles, but then I thought, no, subtitles ruin movies.
I'm not sinking that low.
Subtitles ruin movies, and I want to enjoy this one.
I mean, it's theoretically in English, so you should be able to discern what's happening on the screen.
Yeah, you know, and I'm like listening. I like cranked my shit up loud. I'm like, what? I don't know.
It was a visual treat, though.
It was.
Yeah,
it was.
Cinematography was
the colors.
Nice. I wonder who DP'd this shit. I'm not gonna look it up.
Probably David Fincher and his boy. Hit that shit with
Finch
the DP.
dog. I want to watch Girl with Dragon Tattoo again.
I know this made me like want to watch that movie.
It's like a better movie. It's like
I really like I really like the
more going on.
the first half of that movie. The second half is kind of like, I don't know. I feel like that movie kind of does drag a little bit in the second half.
I also want to watch like Gone Girl again. I think that'd be fun.
Gone Girl's good.
Yeah.
Gone Girl's good. It's kind of, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Wait, was Zodiac good? I feel like Zodiac like wasn't that good.
I didn't really like Zodiac that much. It's very like anticlimactic ending.
It's kind of a movie without an end.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess because the
Zodiac was never identified. Or
right.
was he?
Or was he? Wait.
I also just don't really care about like real world killers. Like they kind of bore me.
I know.
I'm much more into like a fictional killer.
Right. Well, because a fictional killer is like has like a story constructed around them.
Yeah. Real world killers are just like, oh, like their brain is fucked and okay.
Right.
Like there's some white guy.
Cinematography was Eric Messerschmidt. Let's see. Who's the DP though?
Eric Messerschmidt.
What did you think about the music?
It was interesting. It was almost like not even music. It's like tones.
Yeah.
It was like sound effects that were like stretched out and like reverbed. But it fit. It was suitable for the production. I feel like
Reznor and Ross.
Yeah, when I saw Trent Reznor on the titles at the beginning, I was like, oh, sick. I'm ready for this new score because I really like this score for the TMNT movie, the new one that came out recently, and he really didn't. It was very like restrained, very like kind of. It was present, but it wasn't. There was no real melody that I could really latch onto. It was more just like it was more of a tone poem, as George Lucas would say.
The only real like music was at the begining.
I mean, in the Smiths, of course. You can't forget.
Right. The only real
He
score,
loves the Smiths
type music. Like like not a song by an actual band or something.
I think Michael Fassbender had like the maturity of like a 15-year-old in this film. The way he was speaking, the way he was, transcribing the film, through his narration. He kind of he kind of just came off as like a little bit of like an edgelord.
Yeah, I feel like they could have turned the edgelord stuff down just a little bit.
Yeah.
But maybe that's how the comic is.
Yeah, I don't know.
But he
wasn't a very likable character. Yeah, it was like he was very much like an anti-hero. I wasn't really rooting for him.
I wanted him to like get the job done.
Yeah, I guess I was like, I'm on this journey with him. I might as well, root for him. But like at the same time, I didn't really, care if he died or lived. One way or the other. I wasn't.
Yeah, well, it's
that invested.
It's like you're watching the movie. It's like I'm like, I don't know. He's like the only character, right? So it's like, well, he's not going to die. So how's he going to do it?
I was hoping he would die by the end or something. I don't know. It was kind of like the ending. Well, I guess we'll get to the ending.
Well, so then he's off to the races, right?
Yeah,
he's off to the races.
He knows who. He's got some info on the two assassins that Hodges sent. He deduces that Hodges sent them. His ex-handler.
Right. Somehow.
So Hodges is like a lawyer.
Did he call Hodges? Did he call Hodges?
They
Hodges
had some sort of discussion. Yeah.
Hodges like fessed up.
I know Hodges was upset with him for messing up the hit.
Right.
Like, I can't believe you fucked that up.
It's like what is this whole thing about? Like you accidentally killed the wrong person. Like, okay, well,
it happens, bro. Get over it.
Refund the person their money and like
move on with your life.
Move on, and let's all move on with our lives. Like,
yeah.
No, you got. So he knows it's Hodges. He knows Hodges sent them. So then he goes to wherever Hodges lives.
What kind of profession is that too? Like being a hitman for a living? Like you get paid to kill people?
Right.
That's what you want to do with your life?
Apparently so.
That sucks, dude. You're like born on planet Earth in, whatever time period, and like you're going to spend your life just murdering people and just die? Sounds horrible. You're a fucking pussy, dude.
Oh, jeez. I'm getting a call.
All these people are losers.
You get a call from.
I guess some people just have that animal instinct of it. They have that bloodlust. They gotta quench it somehow. They gotta satisfy it. You gotta take a business call.
No.
I don't know. It just seems like a fucking waste of time. But can't you find any of it? Can't you lay some bricks? Like find it. I guess it pays pretty well. I don't know. I don't think any hitman was ever that happy.
No, yeah.
Like a Fassbender,
I don't think so either.
He probably needs to go to therapy, dude. He needs to work this shit out.
He's got like, and the thing is, he's got tons of money.
He's got
so why is he still doing it?
Why is he still doing this shit? Like, how much money do you need?
He just likes to not be hanging out with his girl. Like, seems like he likes to hang out with this girl.
Seems like he's set up. He's got like multiple safe houses all over the globe.
Right.
With like just straight cash and warehouses and little like storage units wherever he needs. I think you're set, bro. I don't think you need to take another job.
Yeah, I don't know. His motivation for just being in the role, like in the role of like, for like, I guess he just is, the killer. Like,
so he goes to Hodges's, firm, his brick and mortar place of business, his office.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he makes his entry posing as a sanitation worker.
Right.
And slips in.
The FedEx guy. The FedEx guy lets him in.
Yeah, he's cunning. He's patient. He waits for random, delivery to happen. Follows the FedEx guy in, and does a little slip and slide into the building, and he holds the secretary woman and the lawyer at does he have a gun? What does he have? Yeah, I guess he has a gun.
I think he had a gun out. Yeah, he had his gun out.
Gunpoint. And then he ties them up and shoots a couple nails into the dude's chest, and the guy suffocates on his own blood, I guess.
Yeah, well, he thought he would have a lot more time to like interrogate him.
Yeah, he's surprised that he dies so quickly.
The guy just like dies. Like,
I mean, if I shoot a bunch of nails into a guy's chest, I'm kind of assuming he's gonna die. I don't know. I'm not an expert.
Yeah, and the whole time Hodges is just like, why? What are you, stupid? And like,
Hodges should have expected this, bro.
Yeah,
bro, you need better security on your place. You can't just fucking put a hit out on a master killer, and then
you fucked up his chick.
Yeah, and then just like be chilling at your office like business as usual, dude.
Yeah,
you're a moron.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, and you're surprised when he shows up. Like, what are you doing here?
You're dumb.
I'm fucking here to murder you. Like, what?
So he murders Hodges, and then he takes the secretary lady back to her place because she's got the files on the hit squad that was used to attack his bee. And then she's like, I'll give you the files, but just make sure, my death, is very,
I don't want to
obvious.
I don't want to I don't want to disappear.
I don't want to just get thrown into an acid bucket and just vanish from the face of the earth. I want
to. And I think he did give that to her.
He did, yeah, because he cracks her neck. He
like broke her neck like real clean.
Right at the top. That
was a good neck break. That was
that was one of the cleanest neck breaks I've seen in cinema.
I know. I was gonna say it might even be my favorite.
Yeah, because I didn't even expect it. I didn't even see it coming.
It was really understated.
Understated, and then she fell down the stairs, so it looks like an accident. So it just looks like she tumbled.
Right.
She took a little tumble, and her boss also went missing the same day. Strange.
Probably wasn't on the books that she was working for him, if I had to guess.
Yeah. So her.
I liked how they had like a whole like Rolodex, like a physical like Rolodex.
Yeah, that was nice. Her own little system
that they used
devised
to keep track of like the fucking.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
So her kids get the money or whatever from her estate or whatever the life insurance, and then he gets the names for the people he needs to go fuck up, and then I guess he's off to Florida, right? Is that the next location? It's a real
then he's off to Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, is Hodges in Chicago?
Where
was Hodges?
He was in like New Orleans, I think, or something.
Okay. And then he's off
Pretty
to Florida
sure.
to kind of have, this is like the kind of the fight scene centerpiece of the film.
Yeah.
And I was a
Yeah.
little bit underwhelmed by this whole sequence of
Me
events.
too. It was kind of dark. And
it was very dark, and it was very like proppy. The fight scene.
Yeah.
He fights this like 7'5", muscly dude and this muscly Florida man. And
it was kind of confusing. Well, to back up just a little bit.
Yeah.
He gets into this guy's place, right? And then he's like hearing the guy in the shower, and then he hears the shower turn off. Normal shower sounds, right?
Right.
And then like immediately the guy is fully clothed and tackles him.
I was confused by that too, because I was like, is there another guy in the shower who he's gonna have to fight two guys?
Or like some bee or something? Like
Right. I thought there was gonna be a third person, because I was like,
me too.
The sounds didn't make sense.
Right.
And he was completely taken by surprise, so it makes him look even stupider.
I know.
Because it's like he has the total advantage in this situation, but then somehow he gets the drop his hat on him.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
this movie it really struggles with like his level of competence.
Yeah, he's not very.
I feel like
he's not a likable character, and then he's not like very admirable at his, like, you can't really admire him for his job, his skills. You're just kind of told that he's this really good assassin,
right?
But I guess he gets in this fight with this massive guy, and he just takes like hit after hit, like brutal hits,
bombs,
just like straight through the dome. Like at one point, I think the guy's on top of him and just like fucking smashing him in the head, and then he's like gets up and just like starts like little kung fu action. I'm like, this guy's dead, dude. Like this guy's concussed.
I know.
This guy's
like,
done.
what the fuck?
So it entered like Marvel, like superhero movie territory at that point.
It was a little bit, it was a little bit unbelievable, like the number of bombs that the guy was throwing at him that he was taking. I'm like, wow, he's like really sturdy.
He's really like I guess like really when you're really that focused, I don't know, like he's really
right. He was really focused.
And then like they fucking trash this apartment. This house.
Absolutely fucking destroy it, like every room basically.
They go from room to room, and if there's a TV on in that room, they're smashing into it. And if there's a vase like on the table, they're using that. It's a sugar glass vase.
Using that. Yeah,
and then there's ornaments on the on the windowsill. They grab that and smash it.
Yeah.
And it was
anything and everything.
It was a prop fest. I mean, there were so many props that were used during this fight scene.
and then like, and to go to the point of it being too dark, like the big guy is like impaled at one point on like a piece of wood.
That was good. I like that part.
That was good, but Mackenzie like was watching it, and she was like, why is he limping? I was like, he was impaled on some wood. So like she didn't even fucking see it.
I think Alyssa fell asleep by that point
because it was so dark.
No, Alyssa was awake during that point. No, she was. Yeah.
Because it was so dark. I think she missed like the actual what happened.
Is your TV like one of those like TVs that makes the blacks like really deep?
It's like OLED. Yeah.
The OLED. Yeah, that might be the issue.
Well, it's not really an issue. I mean, it looks.
Those
like,
OLEDs are like cool because like the black pixels aren't lit, but then like I feel like you lose a lot of detail.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. I think. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it depends on what OLED you're watching, because like if it has like a high enough, like the problem with some OLED panels is like the total amount of light that it can produce is not high enough. You know what I'm saying?
I just think like the proper way to watch this movie is to just have David Fincher fly to your house and make sure that everything's calibrated.
Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah,
that's what he does in his off time when he's not directing. He just has to fly around.
Probably just the proper way is to probably just watch it on his MacBook. He comes to your house and he pulls out his MacBook and you watch it. Yeah, I mean, I saw that it happened. I saw that it happened.
Mackenzie wears glasses though, right?
She can see. Like she can see.
Yeah, Alyssa can see too, but she like needs glasses sometimes.
Well, yeah, she had her contacts in, so it's like if she.
Why do all girls wear Why do all girls have bad eyesight? You ever notice that?
I don't know. Yeah,
it's weird. It's like a phenomenon.
That is weird. Yeah. Why didn't? Yeah, I don't really know any guys that have to, except for Jake and
Yeah,
AJ. Well,
I mean,
Jake and AJ both need glasses.
AJ
So
needs glasses.
he just doesn't wear them.
I never knew that.
He just doesn't wear them. Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, it'd be crazy if you had to wear glasses all the time.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be the rough
Probably
stuff.
get used to it.
Yeah, so I mean, it was just a little too dark. It was just a little too dark. Even I mean, yeah, maybe OLED exacerbated that. I mean, I never have that issue with other movies though, or anything I'm watching. So
That's
like,
good.
I don't know.
Yeah, I've always
it
wanted
just
to
made me
get an
feel like
OLED,
that.
but I'm kind of worried about that. Like, is it gonna crush the blacks too deep? Am I gonna miss something?
I mean, I don't think it just. I don't know.
I felt like it was pretty clear. Like they lingered on it.
I thought it was pretty clear too. I guess she just didn't hear like the sound effect or something, because there was like a sound effect that went with it.
Yeah, because like they crashed through this table and like one of the table legs is all like broken and sticking up, and then he falls back on it and he's like impaled, and he's really fucked up at this point. I mean, like he's bleeding.
Yeah, this guy is like he's still throwing bombs though.
But he's still
and then he gets a gun.
God bless him, man.
He gets a gun. Starts shooting at him.
Really,
and
Michael
like
Fassbender really fucked this up.
Like Michael Fassbender is like this far from being shot.
Right.
Like the guy like shoots like through the island or whatever of the kitchen.
Yeah.
That Michael Fassbender's hiding behind, and it's like I mean,
it was a good fight scene. It was tense. I mean, like as far as fight scenes go, it was definitely over. Like higher up there.
It was good.
I mean,
it was a good.
Yeah, I'm more critical of Fincher because he's such a good director and stuff. But it
was a good enough fight scene. It wasn't like disappointing. It was just weird that
it went on for a while.
It did go on. I kind of expected it to though, because it was kind of like I kind of expected it to be like the only one.
It's really the only like actual fight scene in the entire movie. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. There's not.
How long is
really,
the movie? It felt like kind of brief. Like it was like a 2-hour movie.
It's like 2 hours or something. Maybe a little bit less.
Thankfully,
I think.
Yeah, it was a fun watch. It was easy breezy.
It was 118 minutes.
Okay.
So
a little less than 2 hours.
A little less, yeah. Nice. And that probably includes the credits, right? So.
Right.
So yeah, it's. Yeah, I feel like it went on a little long, but it was fine because I didn't really expect any other action to be there, and we hadn't really had any yet.
I like how the dog woke up at the end.
I liked how the dog woke up. I like how
he like poisons the dog at the beginning.
Mackenzie doesn't like how. Yeah, I mean, you could tell the dog was just asleep though. So
Mackenzie didn't.
I mean,
the dog was fine though. He didn't even kill the dog.
No, I know. Mackenzie doesn't like when dogs are harmed in films.
He wasn't harmed.
She doesn't like.
He was fine.
I know. So it was all good.
I wanted him to kill the dog. Good. I was like, "Fuck this dog, dude." I would have been okay with it. I would have been okay with it, but for Mackenzie's sake, I wanted the dog to be okay. So yeah, it was just. I felt bad for the dog. Like after you kill the dog's master, it's almost like kind of cruel to leave the dog alive. Like might as well snuff him out as well at the same time.
Shut up.
Sad. The dog has to contend with that.
So if there's a dog in the movie, like I have to look it up on that website. Like, does the dog die? Or maybe it's not a website, maybe it's whatever, but you can find information on if the dog dies. Like,
people need to get over like dogs like dying. Like humans are like more valuable than dogs.
Well, it's that dog probably wouldn't have been the biggest deal, but if Mackenzie gets really attached to a dog, I think she was traumatized by a movie when she was younger. Maybe it was like because of Winn-Dixie or something.
There's a lot of like good good novels.
There's like a lot of movies where
like
the dog
out there where
dies.
like the dog dies at the end and it's really sad.
Yeah. So anyway, but
because of Winn-Dixie.
Then it was just weird that the fight started on such like a weird note of like not expecting the guy to like. It's like, okay, you want to surprise me, but like you're surprising me in a way that like makes me confused about the actual conditions of the situation.
Yeah, I was fully expecting him to have to fight like all three of those muscly guys because he follows them around, like he kind of like tracks them.
Like
I thought
it's like the guy's.
Scene.
Yeah, it's like, the guy's gay, like he's unexpected.
Gay? What?
Well, no, like he's gay. His boyfriend is there, and he's like a big muscly dude too.
Oh, okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
like type of shit.
The Mason
because Michael Fassbender mentions like a sleepover. Hope they're not having a sleepover. Like he said that.
Okay,
he did. I'm telling you.
Nice. Hopefully they're not having a piss party. All right.
This guy. guy looks like he might be a real piss pig. A piss pig?
Like,
Can you imagine?
I don't know. Like it's like you like getting pissed on, but why do you have to call yourself like a pig? Like that's
Dude,
gross.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Oh my god. And then like that interview continues, and the guy's like, "Yeah, I've got. I'm really feeling like my life's not going in the right direction. I've never been in a relationship." He's like, I'm trying everything to meet people. I'm on dating apps.
Who, the piss pig?
The piss pig. I go places. I go to piss events.
The guy who was holding his mouth open for the piss, like.
Yeah,
that guy?
He's only had one night stands and hookups. He hasn't never been in a relationship.
He's gay,
I'm
right?
50 years old. He's like, I'm 50 years old. I think
gay
so.
Man?
It's like, I'm 50 years old. My life's really passed me by.
I said gating. Dating in the gay scene is sort of difficult, I hear. So
I hear that too. Yeah. So, you know, and Andrew Callahan's like, well, you think it's you, or you think Callahan's like, you think it's you, or you think it's them? He's like, I think it's them. I think they're not giving me a chance. Fuck.
It's probably a combo.
This poor guy. Yeah, there's probably, you know, many factors at play. I mean, going to piss pig events.
Yeah, going to piss pig events is probably not helping your cause.
It's probably not the number one place to meet like your life partner.
No.
I don't know. Maybe it is. So anyway,
I guess keep shooting your shot.
Poor guy. But yeah, here's the thing though. Like,
don't give up.
We've been talking so much about the piss pigs, but like, what about the people that are just coming up and pissing on these people?
I know. Like, how much?
They're the real. They're the real animals.
They're like, oh shit, there's a piss pool over here. Let me go like down.
Right. I know. What the like?
Can't wait
good thing. Yeah. Good thing I
piss on some people.
Good thing I've been saving my my lemons. You know, my fucking lemon squirt all day. Like,
none of that piss was hydrated either. It was all yellow.
Dude, like what? Like,
I need to drink more water. Damn it!
What's going through your mind when you see people in a pool getting pissed on, and you're like, all right, me next. Like, I will piss on them too.
I'm gonna pull my cock out. I don't know. There's better conventions to go to.
Yeah, or street. Well, it's a street fair. Street fair, yeah.
Better street.
Yeah, but
better street fairs.
Yeah. I mean, like, there's like the Clayton Art Fair.
In California, this is legal. You can just like piss on people in like broad daylight.
I don't know how legal. I don't know how legal it is, but it happens. It's like a yearly.
I mean,
event,
like, you know, I'm not really like into laws and stuff, but like, I don't know, like. There'd have to be like a wall. I don't want anyone. I don't want to like walk by the event and like see some people getting pissed on.
Yeah, at the end of the video, at the end of the video, there's like they talk to this guy. They're like, yeah, so you're here at the fair. The guy's like, yeah, I didn't mean to be here.
Yeah,
he's like, I go to my probation officer over there, and then I walk out, and there's just saw more people pissing on people than I've ever seen in my life. It was pretty cool. Just some random dude. He wasn't even there.
It is cool, but like I don't want to. If I'm, you don't
want to like stumble on that with your kids.
With my kids, if I'm with my family, yeah, like, I mean, I don't want to shut it down. I'm just like thinking, there's got to be some sort of privacy, like, barrier.
If you live around there, you know that this is a thing that goes on every year.
Oh my god, it's time to move. It's time to get out of fucking California. Like, let's
unless you want to be at this event,
right? Fucking
unless
perverts,
that's your scene,
dude. Fucking disgusting.
Bro, they're all it's
fucking
yeah, there's
vile.
like it's like really you should see the whole video. I'll show it to you next time I see it.
Oh man.
It's not that long. Anyway though, so he kills that guy, and then he's all fucking beaten up. He's
somehow fine, like pretty much the next scene.
Yeah, something else I did like that we haven't touched on is like how there's like chapters. I did like the chapters, and I did like how it kind of like set the expectations.
Yeah, I mean, for a second, I was kind of like, is this like a Netflix series or something? Like,
oh, right.
I was kind of confused. I was like, oh, did I go to the next episode?
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, no, this is more just like a Quentin Tarantino, chapter movie thing.
I guess because it's got like after a comic book, right? Like,
yeah, it was like, the next chapter is like, the Tilda Swinton chapter. I think that's what they called it.
Yeah, the expert or whatever was hers.
What was she next?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Just being a white lady.
Being a
white lady.
Subtly
in the suburbs of Chicago. In the suburbs of Chicago.
So
yeah.
So she is at at this restaurant, and he like confronts her.
Yeah, and she like doesn't like. She just kind of accepts it. She's like,
yeah. She's very
You're gonna kill me.
very much not in the movie that much. You know, she's in basically this one scene, and then she knows immediately that she's done. I liked how like everyone kind of knew they were done. You know, throughout the whole movie.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah,
that was good. Like there wasn't like a lot of begging.
No, there wasn't a lot of begging, and like like once you see Michael Fassbender's like eyes, you know, once you see the intent behind his eyes, then you know you're done.
I did really like. I thought they should have just kept going with it, but I did like for that like most of their conversation. I think he should have just said nothing to her. But like most of their conversation, I felt like he should have just like because like she's talking to him and he's just sitting there like,
are you done?
She's like offering him drinks, you know, trying to give him some liquor.
He's
like
an extra flight.
And my bottle.
And I'll need a refill. I'll need it all. I want to get fucking lit before I die.
She's just like talking to him, offering him shit. He's just like,
have you tried the pigs in a blanket here? They're very good. Garçon, 4 pigs in a blanket. Would you like one? They're very succulent. No? Okay, I guess I'll have each pig in a blanket and some wine. All right, I guess you can kill me now.
Yeah, but then he starts talking to her. I thought he should have not talked to her.
I mean, you're always a fan of like the no one talking. Like you don't want any talking in these movies.
No. Just what are you talking about? Just this. When else have I said that?
You said it earlier in the podcast. You were like, yeah, I appreciate if you just didn't say anything.
No, I was saying like the dialogue in the movie in general was just kind of like, you know, like the dialogue, like his narration, sure, but like the dialogue, it was all just kind of like, I don't know, it felt kind of like throwaway, and mumbly.
Yeah, you wanted it to be more of a tone poem,
bro. I'm gonna put on your fucking tombstone. I'm gonna put his life was a tone poem.
Why are you in charge of my tombstone?
Don't worry.
I'm fucking. You know what we should watch next is George Lucas's ultimate tone poem,
Red Tails.
The Red Tails. Yeah.
I don't know if I can do it.
So good. Oh man. No, we should watch another good movie next. I don't want to watch another bad movie.
I know what else what's gonna be what else is good? We gotta find something good.
Yeah, we'll think of something.
We'll think of something. Yeah, but yeah. So and then you know he like takes
really wants us to watch The Gentleman. I think Thomas Berry isn't he keep recommending?
He's been saying he wants us to watch that.
TB. Yeah,
I liked that movie when I saw it. I mean, it's not like amazing or anything, but I thought it was fun.
Is it worth a whole podcast episode to talk about? You think?
I don't know. Maybe. I thought it was fun. Matthew McConaughey's good in it.
Yeah.
It's like
I feel like we should do like Iron Man 1. I think we should start with like back when Marvel was good. I think people are kind of, you know, craving that right now. They want to return to the.
They do. Yeah, a return to glory.
Stuff, to the
return to glory.
Of the MCU. Back when it was actually something. Now, you know,
instead of just like a nothing burger.
Yeah, let's celebrate the good times, you know.
Yeah, like, you know, I don't know what it is. I hear that the Marvels tanked.
What? No.
People didn't want to see it in real 3D.
I heard they were giving a $22 discount on IMAX tickets.
Dude, why is that the only option in IMAX? Wait, yeah, you know there's a new Hunger Games movie too? What?
Right now?
Yes.
Oh wow. Yeah, I'm not.
I heard nothing. I heard nothing about it.
Yeah.
It's yeah, I know.
Yeah. You know what? It's just like we're still out of the loop. You know, we got our own shit going on.
I know, dude. I know. Yeah. It's so anyway. So he takes. So I'm thinking he's gonna kill Tilda Swinton in this restaurant. But the movie's better than that. He takes her out back and fucking blows her fucking brain out.
She tries to pull a fast one on him first, though.
Yeah. She's like, oh, you know, like, or like tries to get him to like help her up or something, and he's like, just shoots her right in the. At least he was
competent there. Like I almost half expected him to fuck that up too.
Yeah. And then like, oh, she had a knife. She wasn't totally resigned to her fate. Who would have thunk it? And then like
She's on screen for like what 5 minutes, and she got like top billing in the film. It was like starring
Did she
Tilda
really
Swinton. Not really.
Ugh. Yeah,
she was in it for like 1 second.
Woof.
She was good though.
Then
she's always good.
She was the woman with the most. Well, was she? I don't know. Was she the woman with the most screen time? It might have been the secretary.
Yeah, I feel like the secretary had a lot more screen time than her.
Yeah,
maybe I'm wrong though.
So yeah, she was good in it though. She was she like did her thing.
She did her thing. Yeah, the movie kind of just goes nowhere. I don't know. It's just kind of like a whatever movie, but it was fun. It was fun to watch.
Yeah, it was fun. It was like a good time. It was like, okay, I'm gonna turn on a movie. I'm expecting it to be good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's good. It wasn't great.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it. It's not great, but it was good. It was like it like fulfilled my expectations. And then he goes right, and there's like this whole thing with him like getting stealing like the key fob for so then he goes to find like the guy who like commissioned the hit.
Right.
And this part I didn't really get, like, the end of the part or whatever, but like, so he goes this whole thing, like steal the guy's key fob to get into his building.
He signs up for like a gym.
He signs up for like, it's basically like, Equinox.
Yeah. So he can like,
get into the locker room.
So while this guy's working out, he can, copy his key fob with some Amazon shit he ordered.
Yeah. And that whole part was just kind of like,
was this like a product placement for Amazon?
I don't know. Yeah. That whole part was just kind of like, this could be something more interesting. I felt like, I don't know. It
was funny because like he was doing a lot of boring stuff, but like just the way it was shot and edited was pretty stylish. So it just kept me pretty engaged. It's
yeah,
like, what
me
else am I gonna watch?
Me too.
Yeah, like what? Like
yeah. Oh, for sure.
Like
for
Shadow and Bone.
Like, yeah, and
I checked that out the other night.
What's that? What is that?
Shadow and Bone. It's like a fucking Netflix like chick flick series of like it's based on some sort of like book.
Oh,
for women,
probably some
and it's like
Shadow. It's literally called Shadow and Bone.
And it's like there's like some sort of love
triangle. Do they shadow and
yeah, it takes place in.
Do they shadow and then bone?
This fantasy world where like there's like this like dark vagina like in the center of the map, and it's called the Fold, and they have to like
shut up.
They have to pass through the Fold to like get to the other side.
Enter the Fold.
Yeah.
It's called Shadow and Bone. Enter the Fold.
Yeah, they have to enter the Fold, and
really an 84%.
We checked it out the other night because like I heard it got canceled, and I was like,
it got canceled.
Netflix canceled it.
They're not making any more.
I think they made 2 seasons.
Yeah, right, but they're not making any more.
No.
Yeah,
unless there was a fan outcry. No, it was pretty bad. Yeah, it was bad, but I was like, like compared to something like that, you're like, okay, this is pretty like up there. This is like, pretty entertaining.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, the best thing I've seen on Netflix in a long time.
Right.
I have been watching that new Castlevania thing. It's not as good as the first one, but it's kind of cool. It takes place
anime?
in like, yeah, it's like a Western. It's like Western cartoon. It's like a Western cartoon done in an anime style kind of deal or whatever, but yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
I probably won't watch that, but I respect the craftsmanship that goes into
the first one was good. I liked it. Like the first just Castlevania, straight up Castlevania.
Are there some cool like vampire moments in that show?
There's like Dracula. Yeah, it's all about like vampire.
Is Dracula's in it?
Yeah, in the first one. Yeah, and like Castlevania. Yeah.
Sick.
It's like vampire shit.
Maybe I'll check that out.
I don't know. It's
is
like
is it kid friendly? Let me ask you this: is it appropriate to watch around a toddler?
I would say that it is certainly not. It's
extremely
extremely
over
graphic.
Some parts?
It's extremely graphic, pretty much from beginning to end. I would say. It's like it's very.
I've been watching Avatar: The Last Airbender on my laptop while I work.
You're getting ready for the live action.
Bro,
it's coming out in 100.
Did you see the trailer?
It's coming out in like 99 days or something.
Oh wow,
days.
We have to wait that long?
Yeah, 3 months.
It looks so bad. Like it looks just as bad as the first adaptation they did. What's wrong
I don't
with
know if it
them?
looks as bad as I don't think it looks as bad as that. I
Really?
think it looks better than that. I'm just like hoping that like when actually watching an episode, like it will not be trash. But I
Mm.
don't have high hopes at all. I basically have no hopes.
The thing is, like,
So
the cartoon is perfect. I mean, it's like
yeah, it's fine. It's
literally
great. Like
fucking
why?
perfect. Like, you don't
I
need
know.
to adapt it. It doesn't. I don't. Yeah, there's nothing that's gonna be added to it that from the live action adaptation that's gonna like make it more real or more sincere or more
I
anything.
know. The cartoon's great. I think you're
Just
100%
leave
right.
it at the cartoon. I mean, it's like a cool to see, like, AI generated art maybe of it looking in live action just for the fuck of it, but like for to do an entire multi-million-dollar
Yeah,
show with actors and crew, and
I know.
what's the point? I don't
I
know.
know.
Yeah,
It's
I'll check out the first episode though.
I'll
Yeah,
I'll watch the first episode for sure. I'll try to at least.
you're right. It's got to be
But yeah.
better than M
Anyway,
Night
so
Shyamalan.
oh yeah, what
There's no way it could
it's
be
got to
worse.
be.
Yeah.
It's got to be. So then
Remember the M Night Shyamalan? There's like 6 Earthbenders, and they're like, huh, 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 and they lift like one rock, and they like
I
slowly
know.
push it.
That was so
the fuck?
fucking bait.
Did he even watch the show?
I'm hoping there will be like really cool bending. I'm hoping like they'll do like some cool stuff with that,
Yeah.
like visually, and yeah,
I mean,
we'll see though.
It's just like you're gonna need like lots of money to like pull off like. I mean, the show goes so hard with the visuals, like, and like the scenes, that it's like, this is like gonna be $1 billion show if you do it right.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. Yeah, I wonder how much of the first season they'll cover in the first season.
Yeah.
I wonder.
Yeah.
Because I wonder how much they'll leave out. I don't know. Yeah. But because I feel like, part of what is good about Avatar is that like some of it is like fun, some of it's like fun, like not necessarily like this is like pushing the super serious story like forward like all the time.
Yeah, there's like chiller episodes, and
yeah,
like,
but
fun moments and
right. But I feel like that stuff like gets really cut down when they move it to live action, because like they gotta it's like you're burning money. But the thing is, when you lose that stuff, then you lose like the heart and soul of the show. Like you lose like a really
it's been
really
so good rewatching
elements.
it. I mean, I haven't seen it in a long time, and it's just been such a joy. And Luna's been super into it. Like she's been watching it with me. And it's not
good. It's good.
It's not too violent or too intense to where like a toddler couldn't watch it. Like there's nothing that ever happens that's like,
Well, yeah, it's not
graphic at all.
Graphic,
but like
yeah,
it's still mature. Like there's very mature themes, and
right.
they talk about like killing and death and stuff. Like you understand like the severity of the war and its impact, but you never like see anything like too crazy. Like they're very like, cunning.
Yeah, it was.
They display everything where it's appropriate.
It was
for
on
the whole family.
Yeah, it was on Nickelodeon. Like,
yeah, but even today, I don't even know if there would really be a movie. Like, I think there's like censorship things in place like where you can't even like say like the word death, or you can't even say like killed.
Maybe.
Where
yeah,
I think today like
I don't watch like
that.
I don't watch cable television anymore, so I don't know.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. Yeah, it's such a good show.
It's such a good show. Yeah. But yeah, anyway, so then he gets into this dude's apartment, right? Michael Fassbender gets into this dude's apartment. The billionaire. And he like holds him at gunpoint, and the guy like doesn't want to be killed or whatever. And then Michael Fassbender is like, he's like, I'm just here to make sure. He's like, I'm just here to make sure you don't have a problem with me, because I'll come back here and I'll kill you bad.
I'll kill you good if you have a problem with me.
And then it's like, what? It's like he's like, no, I don't have a problem with you.
Who would say they have a problem though with him?
I know, yeah. Like what?
At that point,
I just don't understand like why he didn't kill that guy, because that guy was the one that was responsible.
Yeah, that part confused me too. Why not?
That was
kill
like
that guy?
very. Yeah, like what's the point?
Why kill the poor taxi driver, but not?
Yeah,
not
like
guy?
why?
Not this like rich
why kill him,
billionaire.
but not this guy who can then call the dogs on you as you try to escape.
Yeah, that was confusing, but also kind of unexpected. So I was like, okay, like at least there's something I didn't expect.
It defied expectations for sure, but I don't know if that was the right. Yeah,
if he had just killed him and then the movie ended, I kind of would have been like, okay. But I kind of felt the same way about the ending this way too. I was
Right.
just
Yeah.
like,
He just
okay,
like, he was just like back to his like,
back to business.
back to his normal life with his chick, like that he should have been living before he took this first hit in the first place.
Right. Yeah. He's like, I guess it implies that he's retiring.
And now she's got it's like big ass scar because like he fucked up.
She looked fine though. It looked like it healed up pretty good.
Yeah, no, she was honestly
She was still banging.
fine. Yeah, she was doing fine.
He still gave her that sweet Foss.
Yeah, and then the movie like it ended.
He bent her and he Foster. Michael Foss bent her over.
That with his 75 degree curvature.
Right, that's how you hit the G spot.
I'm telling you, man.
The Foss spot. Foss?
Yeah, well, but it's like down and to the right or down and to the left. It's like down and to the left. This like 75 degrees. So he's got to be in like a very specific position.
Right. Yeah. It's impressive, honestly. The skill that it takes to
it truly
elicit that feeling in a woman. When you have a curved cock like that.
When you're packing that kind of meat.
That schmeat.
That kind of right. That you took the words out of my mouth. Literally, that schmeat. So to speak. But yeah, it was good movie. I recommend watching it. I recommend it.
You know what I would have liked if the movie just like ended like, they're on the beach having mojitos together or whatever. Him and his girl. She's got the scar, and then he gets up and he pulls off his pants and pulls his cock out. And that would have been good. We just end on a shot of his big penis, and then it cuts to like directed by David Fincher. That would have been like, I would have been like, whoa.
Well, I know. That would have really like, that would have been like, that would have given me if the movie ended like that, I would have left the
satisfied
experience with like the same feeling like after you get off a roller coaster.
Yeah, that would have really put a nice capper on it. Or maybe his girl pulls out a cock and it's like it's a twist. She's actually been a man this whole time.
That girl dick.
Yeah.
That would have been better.
That would have been something.
Yeah.
The movie kind of just ends. I don't know. Like he kind of kills everybody or doesn't kill everybody he wants to kill or not kill. Randomly. Like it's not really ever addressed like what his reasoning was, behind all these, what his motivation was behind these hits. And then, because it's like, like he kills every single one person involved with the hit except for the guy who like ordered the hit. And it's like, why? The guy's like, I don't know, like what's going on. I don't know what the Hodges just told me to do that, so I did. Like,
yeah, he said we can clean it up or whatever, and it's like,
let's keep it clean. Scrub the grout.
Yeah, and it's like what? Okay,
what does that mean? How many like hitman does Hodges have like at his disposal? He can just like really scrub them out like that, easy peasy. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it didn't really. When I saw Gone Girl, I was like, I want to read this book. And I read the book and it was good. And then I read all of Gillian Flynn's novels and they're all good. But with this, it's like it didn't inspire me to want to read this comic at all.
I know. I had the same.
Just like, I
had the
forward
same
to
kind of
Fincher's next work. Maybe something a little bit more ambitious, just something a little bit more. I liked Michael Fassbender a lot. Like he was really good in the role. I just kind of wish, he had more to do, or the stakes, the emotional stakes were higher.
I know.
Like, why is he like this? Probably his father.
Right. I was just thinking, like, who abused you?
Yeah.
Like what? Like why are you so? Like,
it really all started with my
abused?
father. He was a cruel man. He was a prideful, cynical man. Maybe his father is the last hit. He's the one he's got to take out. And then he fucks his mom. I don't know. I'm trying to think of some sort of you know, Oedipus plot to kind of sweeten the
to sweeten the pot.
To sweeten the deal here.
An Oedipus plot to sweeten the pot.
I don't know. Yeah, just something. I wanted a little more like meat on the bone. It was such a bare bones story, but at the same time, I really enjoyed it. You know?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, there's a lot of ways I think it could have like reached like another level, like reached up into reached up into greatness, but at the same time, like it was okay that it didn't.
Yeah, I guess it was fine. Yeah, it was just a fine movie. I mean, I put it on. The Smiths killed it with the soundtrack. Good on them. And yeah, David Fincher, he's a master of his craft. He knows about every single pixel on the screen, and he's very aware of it, and he utilizes every pixel to his advantage.
He knows what he's doing.
I'd like to see like a little like edit of all the VFX in the movie, because there were a lot of moments where I was like, "Is this like a VFX shot?" And it probably was, because I know how David Fincher likes to touch up his shots, like a lot of like CGI clouds and environments,
stuff that you wouldn't,
color correction, and stuff you doesn't really call itself out as a special effect, but you're like,
right,
this shot looks like weird, like the way it's like exposed, or like the way it's lit looks like it was like relit digitally, or like looks strange and like kind of like foreign or something, like in some way that I couldn't quite place my finger on. But I'd like to see like a VFX breakdown of this movie.
Yeah,
that would be
me too. Me too. I'd be interested in that too.
Definitely created a lot of good vibes. But... lot of like assassin-y kind of vibes. I felt like an assassin while watching it, like a kind of a shitty assassin.
Yeah, it did give that vibe.
But yeah, it looks like the movie, probably didn't do that well. Netflix probably did not make its investment back.
It's like, well, no, who knew about it?
Who's watching this thing? I don't think anyone's talking about this movie. I wonder how much it cost to make.
I'm curious about that. Look it up.
All right, looking it up. Netflix probably doesn't release anything. It made $318,000 to the box office. Woo! That's over $250,000.
Okay.
But yeah, they didn't release how much it costs.
$250,000. Well,
the killer returns to the Dominican Republic, where a recovering Magdala waits. That's his girl. He begins to acclimate to retirement. Iris out. Yeah. Well, that's the movie, folks.
That's the film, folks.
Let us know what you thought of The Killer.
Comment
That's
below. All, folks.
Yeah, not to be confused with The Killer, the 1921 film, directed by Jack Conway.
Mr. Conway.
Also not to be confused with The Killer, the 1953 film, a Turkish adventure film. Also not to be confused with The Killer, a 1972 film from Hong Kong producer Shaw Brothers Studios.
Oh.
Also not to be confused with The Killer, the 1989 film, a Hong Kong action and crime film directed by John Woo.
Also not to be confused with The Killers.
Oh, right. The Chris Evans production.
Right.
Also not to be confused with The Killer, the 2006 Bollywood film starring Aman Hashimi. Also not to be confused with The Killer, the 2007 French film directed by Cedric Anger. Or The Killer,
the esteemed Mr. Sedgwick,
2007 film horror short starring Michael Learned. Or The Killer, 1917 film, a Brazilian film. None of those. It's the new one.
Yeah, it's none of those.
It's the 2023 film, adaptation of a French comic directed by David Fincher. Yeah, I'll never watch this movie again. That's the thing, though.
Yeah, I can't see myself watching it again.
I might meme it. I might use that part where the guy fell on the broken table and got impaled. That could be like a good meme. Like, Mondays. Mondays be like,
what did you just say?
ah.
Shut the fuck up.